All right, so we are back here, and the opening pitch of Game 2 is high to Lexi Chevalier. As we get rolling here, second game, the rain came and went in perfect time for us. Didn't really delay us a whole lot. We were basically getting started 30 minutes after the last game. Last game ended at 1:29, and the first pitch of this one at 2:04. 2 balls from Saviskis. Saviskis with a 3.78 ERA, 3-1 record. 4 starts, 1 complete game for Olivia. That pitch is in there, so the count is now 2-1 to Chevalier. That one fouled off at the plate. So 2-2 now the count. Dooley, when we get to that, when Lynn will bat, is back in the circle again. McKaylee Dooley has allowed just 2 hits in the first 2 games, and they both came yesterday. She was able to no-hit the Fighting Knights in the opener today. Pitch to Chevalier. Chevalier misses, so count is now full. Chevalier, Klauberg, Miner, Worrell, Farrell, Jansen, Phillips, Dooley, Balmer, and Reyes in the lineup for Tampa, and that's a walk for Saviskis to start off Game 2, and that's going to bring Klauberg to the plate.
I'm back on headset now. Hello, everybody. But we'll see if Saviskis is able to do it. Jameson did really well in Game 1 and just keep her mindset on the batters and not allowing a runner to get base to affect her.
Bunt put down there. Purser tries to cut out the lead run, and wow, she does. It was a close play, and not exactly sure about that decision, but it doesn't come back to bite Purser, as that's an out at second base. And 1 out here now in the first, as basically Klauberg replaces Chevalier. First pitch is a little low. Ball 1 to Klauberg, getting the start at second base here in the second game today. 246 hitter. As that one swung on and hit down the right field line, but foul. Chasing it down was Diaz, but it will go foul. So the count is now 1-1. Looks like Saviskis going to get a new ball. Obviously, with the rain that came in, ball might be a little wet there. So, for those of you that were listening in that haven't heard yet, Lynn's men's basketball team was able to get the job done and claim a victory as the 3 seed in the first round of the South region. 2-1 here the count in the at-bats at Klauberg, but with an 81-68 win over Alabama in Huntsville. And Lynn will now await the winner of Florida Southern and Delta State. And game will tip in about 20 minutes in Fort Lauderdale. 3-1 the count. Saviskis just looking to calm her down a little bit. Hasn't exactly been accurate here to start out the day. But Lynn will await the winner of Delta State and Florida Southern, and it knows that if Delta State doesn't pull off the upset and will now take on Florida Southern for a 4th time this season, the rare 4 times facing a team. This one grounded to Castero. She's able to flip the short way, so that will put 2 outs now in the inning for Lynn as Miner advances on a fielder's choice.
Now batting third baseman
and
for Sam Worrell.
She will replace Klauberg, who replaced Chevalier. So really just some good defense shown by Lynn, able to cut out the lead runner both times on the 2 balls on the ground. That pitch looks like it was a ball on the inside to Worrell.
was called a strike, I
Yeah, I
believe.
thought the umpire had indicated that. So 0-1 the count to Worrell. That one swung on, hit well down the left field line, but way foul. So the count now 0-2. Pitch from Saviskis, 0-2. Caballero tries to frame it, but it's outside. So 1-2 now the count. For Lynn in the field, it's Purser at third, Costero at short, Aronson at second, and DeVesa at first. And Johnson getting the start in left. This one foul down the third base line. Johnson getting the start in left here in game two, as Valise is out of the lineup.
I believe this is the first game she's not started all season.
So Valise taken out in favor of Shannon Johnson in left, and then Wyatt in center and Diaz in right. So really the only change occurred there in left, and also behind the plate, Caballero catching after Hastings caught game one. The pitch swung on. Purser should have a beat on it. Looked towards second, but knows she can just make the throw across the diamond, and she does. DeVesa squeezes it. So we will head to the bottom half of the first with no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. All right, 2-0 the count here to the off-hitter for the Fighting Knights, Kenzie Wyatt, who will look to solve Dooley. She went 7 innings and gave up no hits in the first game today. So we'll see if maybe Lynn can get off to a better start. Only walked one, and Wyatt's already worked a 3-0 count here from Dooley. Pitch is in there for a strike, so now 3-1 to Wyatt. Dooley trying to complete the 3 straight complete games and 3 straight victories. This one lifted out into center, and there it is. So Lynn couldn't muster a single hit in game 1 and gets a hit to lead off game 2. Mackenzie Wyatt serves a single to left center, and that'll bring Shale Aronson up.
Shale Aronson.
The batting order, Wyatt, Aronson, Diaz, Sheffield, Purser, DeVesa, Shannon Johnson, Costero, and Caballero for Lynn 1 through 9. And around the field for Tampa, Reyes, Minor, and Chevalier. Left to right in the outfield. And in the infield at third, Worrell, as that pitch misses outside to Aronson. 1-0 the count. But at third, Worrell, shortstop, Balmer, second base, Clawberg, first base, Jansen, and behind the plate, Farrell again. The same battery as game one with Farrell and Dooley, and why not? That one bunted, but yeah, that's a nice play by the third baseman, Worrell, who's able to cut out the lead runner, but then Aronson sees nobody home on second base, so it'll work anyway. Aronson sees nobody home on second base and takes second, so she will advance to second after Tampa kind of gets caught napping. So Lynn gets the job done, albeit in the circuitous way, as Aronson gets aboard on a fielder's choice with the bunt, which cut out Wyatt, and then advances to second after Tampa just wasn't quite paying attention. So now Liz Diaz will bat with the runner in scoring position and just one out here in the first. That pitch will hit Diaz. So Aronson was ready to take off for third, but it'll hit Liz. So Liz now a base runner here, as Dooley certainly not as comfortable as she was in game one of the day, and now a meeting on the mound to try and have a discussion with Dooley, as she's in some trouble here in the first with Kayla Sheffield up and runners on first and second and just one out.
And Sheffield's due. She's been 0 for 6 against Dooley so far this series, and we'll see if Aronson, Diaz, and Wyatt, who have all reached base, are able to get into Dooley's head. Maybe Dooley will make a mistake on the inside part of the plate, and Sheffield will drive one over the left field fence, and maybe just high hopes over here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing where this is the type of day where, sure, you've already lost the series, but you really need a spark, and you haven't had much of it. You've only scored one run, and through 2 games, you only had 2 hits on the weekend. So you need something to go right with some runners on to help your team get some confidence, not only against Dooley, but just in themselves. Swung on, miss there by Sheffield. So 0-1. Aronson on second, Diaz on first. Sheffield now tasked with moving them around. Pitch is in there, so quickly 0-2. And whatever was said on the mound, it looks like Dooley was picking up what Coach Leslie Kander was putting down. Throws 2 strikes to start this AB with Sheffield. Dooley set and comes home. That one is high. So 1-2, trying to maybe get Sheffield to chase that high pitch. Kayla does a nice job laying off. That pitch is, wow, in there for strike 3. So Sheffield set down looking. That's not what you want if you're Lynn.
Now batting third baseman, number 15.
Would have much rather see
Purser.
someone swinging the bat, but no dice there. As now Brittany Purser will bat with 2 outs. Still runners on first and second. Purser swings on this one. It's going to hang up there enough, and the shortstop Balmer will range back to make the play. So Lynn had something going, but couldn't cash in as we head to the second. With no score here from Boca Raton, you're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
Here at the Lynn Sports Network, we put an emphasis on our interns to work just as hard in the classroom as they do on the courts. Sometimes, though, it gets a little competitive.
Hey, you just crossed the line.
No, I didn't. I was right here. Look, this is the line.
You just crossed this line, yeah.
No, I've been all the time in the limit. I wasn't out.
No, you did.
No, that was not out. That wasn't out.
Can we get a ruling?
Ask him. He's a ref. Ref, you gotta be kidding. I was right here. I was using my mouse. I was in my space. Okay, ref. We need to talk about this, man. Okay. I was right here. I was using my space. Are you sure? Are you sure, ref? Are you sure? This is crazy.
Sometimes you can take the player out of the game, but not the game out of the player.
Leading off to the second for the Spartans. Gets to number 54, Maddie Farrell.
All right, so Maddie Farrell hitting in the 5 spot for Tampa. After an interesting first inning from both sides, both teams had a little bit of threat going, but Dooley and Saviskis were able to escape the jams, much as we've seen all day. Jamestown was excellent in game one. Tough to lose, 1-0. That's what Dooley was able to do, going the complete game and throwing a no-hitter. That one is inside to Farrell, 1-0 the count. So just to update you, some other action. The Lynn baseball team on the road in Miami Shores, leading 4-3 in the top of the third at Barry as they try to even the series at 1-1. Scheduled for a doubleheader today. Have to see how the weather will hold out down in Miami. But Lynn threatening here actually in the top of the third as well. Back to the softball diamond. The 1-0 is, looked like that was maybe the 2-0.
3-0 now.
And so now it's 3-0 as that one was inside to Farrell. So this is kind of what we did not see out of Jamestown. Was able to make the pitches, especially when it counted the most. Saviskis has not been able to hit the strike zone as often. 15 walks in 37 innings. So definitely potential for her to lose her command, but she's able to get this one in the middle of the plate. Count 3-1. And it looks like a James Buckley sac fly. Scoring Ben Fagan has put the Fighting Knights up 5-3 in the top of the third in Miami Shores. So a good back and forth game there in game one today. And that one, oh my. That one looked high and outside from here, but
Farrell did not agree with that call either.
Fighting Knight fans will take it. We have a good vantage point right behind the plate. It didn't look like it was in there, but I guess you got to protect. So now, full count. And Saviskis, let's see if she can use some help from the home plate ump to get Farrell down on strike. She slashes this one foul. So count's now full to Farrell. Jansen waiting on deck. Farrell went 2 for 3 in game one and works a walk here on Saviskis to lead off the second. As now that's going to bring Jansen, Emily Jansen,
First baseman, number 19, Emily Jansen.
to the dish.
Pinch running at first base for the Spartans, number 11, Mackenzie Allen.
So Farrell actually had, I thought so, that lone RBI in the last game, a big single to left center, hard hit ball in the sixth inning, and that was all Tampa needed. As that held up, 1 run on 5 hits and 1 error for the Spartans in that game. No runs, no hits, and 3 errors for Lynn. So a very low-scoring, competitive game here in game one, but Spartans were able to come away with the victory thanks to Dooley on the mound. Looked like Jansen might square around, but she pulls it back. Count 1-0. As we were told or expected, Farrell was pinch ran for almost immediately, and Jansen will put the bunt down. Going to second is Purser, and out on the play is the Spartan runner, Allen. So Jansen will replace Allen with 1 out here. I've seen a whole lot of that in the attempt to sacrifice bunts that just haven't worked out.
There's been 3 in 3 half innings.
Yeah,
in this
it's cutting
game.
out the lead runner. I don't know what maybe if the bunting directionally isn't where it should be going or what it is, but it seems too easy for the fielders to make the play. A sacrifice is intended to give them an out, but not to just basically replace the runner on first base. Obviously, want to move him over into obviously want to do that. Exactly, a strikeout would work the exact same way. And you're looking to move that runner to second, but I've just seen a whole lot of way more than I'm accustomed to, where they try to cut the lead runner out, and every time I'm thinking, oh, it's a bad decision, but they've been able to cut him out. I don't know if it's good defense or bad bunting, but maybe just a combination of both. As the count is 1-1 after that one's fouled off down the third base line by Phillips. That one swung on, and the runner was off. Maybe a little hit and run on there. Runner was off, but That one goes foul, so the count is now 2-2 with one out here in the top of the second. Phillips in game 1, 0 for 2, looking for her first hit of the day. Pitch to Phillips, found straight back. Thought she had a good piece of that one. It was definitely a hittable pitch, but she fouls it back, so 2-2 the count remains.
Savickas has done a good job so far when she's getting into these counts, not just throwing the balls away. She allowed a walk back in the first, but not the best strike to pitch ratio for her, about 48% strikes.
That one swung on and missed there. So Savickas was trying to live on that outside corner, and Phillips spoiled a couple good pitches, but couldn't spoil the last one as she swings and misses at it, and that'll bring Dooley to the plate with 2 outs. And talk about somebody that knows how to live on the outside part of the plate. Dooley has been excellent here all weekend. And it looked like she was in trouble in the first, and she just made quick work of the Lynn lineup once again. That one is in there to Dooley for strike 1. Dooley had a hit in the first game as well. Pitch is, on the corner. And 0-1, or I believe it's 1-1 now. Count to Dooley. Looking to move that runner around. 2 outs in the top of the second. Jansen leading off first base. She tried to go. It almost works like a swinging bunt for Dooley. Savickas has to get out of the circle and fires down to Devesa. And that will do it for Dooley and Tampa in the top of the second. So we head to the bottom half. Still no score. Here from Boca Raton, you're watching Lynn Softball on LSN.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
So Sophia Devesa digs in the bottom of the second. Lynn was able to get to Dooley a little bit. Got 2 base runners in the first, but they were both stranded. Now try to get something started against her here in the second. Devesa swinging at the first pitch. Found back, and it'll stay in play. What a play made there by Farrell. Actually, they're going to say that it hit the screen. Not so sure about that, but Lynn will take it as Farrell did a nice job tracking that ball down. Call is that it may have hit the screen. We'll see if maybe we can check it out on the replay. I don't know if we were able to. It was hard to tell if it was Farrell hitting the screen. She did, but it was somewhat contentious.
We got a pole in the way.
And the call, our umpires seemed pretty sure that it hit the top of the screen, so it's pretty hard for us to see that here. So 0-2 now the count to Devesa. She swings on this one, a liner, but a little humpback liner that ends up in the glove of Balmer. So that's 1 out
For the blue and white.
here
The left fielder, number 5.
now in the second
Shannon Johnson.
as Shannon Johnson comes to the dish. Johnson, like we said, getting the start in favor of Valise. Johnson, 220, 11 hits, 1 double, 1 home run, 6 RBIs.
She had 2 hard hits yesterday, but pulled both of them, and one went to the warning track. The wind was blowing in. If the wind wasn't blowing in, it could have been gone.
So Johnson maybe seeing it decent out of Dooley's hand. Quickly 2-0 to Shannon. Swung on by Johnson, lifted out into left. Reyes seemed like she was battling the sun. Not a
I
whole
don't know
lot
where
of
the
sun.
sun is.
Not a whole lot of sun to be battling, but was battling the sun and makes the play out in left field.
The shortstop, number 12.
As that will now bring
Natalie
Castero
Castero
to the plate. Castero 0 for 2 in game 1. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off behind the plate. 4, strike 1. So Lynn was able to push one across there in the third of the baseball game. And Sam Beck able to blank Barry in the bottom of the third. So in the top of the fourth, Lynn leads 5-3 in Miami Shores.
Lots of athletic events for the Blue and White today. 2 baseball games against Barry, 2 softball games against Tampa. Basketball, we've mentioned. Florida Southern. We're at Florida Southern for lacrosse later tonight. Sunshine State Conference opener. Tracks going on.
Yeah,
and
down in
swimming.
Miami.
Swimming. The last time in the pool for a few of our senior swimmers at the NCAA championships up in Indianapolis.
Yep.
There you go. Got that one right.
Yep. So 0-2. Castero fouls off both first 2 pitches here from Dooley. Yeah, a lot of action today. And just as checking the game, as the 0-2 to Castero, swung on, grounded over to short. And coming up with that, making the throw across, there is Balmer to retire the side in order. So we head to the third with still no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. Stephanie Balmer leading off the third after making that play to retire Castero, the Fighting Knight shortstop, to end the second inning. But we're here through 2 innings of game 2, and what a surprise, there's still no score. So runs have been at a premium this weekend. My math's not that good, but between both teams, I think only 5 runs have been scored, 4-1 and 1-0. So
6
6.
runs.
So 6. There you go. Like I said, my math really isn't that good. So this one, line drive, and a nice play made back out there in center by Wyatt, who had to get on her horse quick and take a few steps back to make the play. Able to kind of snow cone it out there in center for the first out of the inning.
Back to the top of the lineup, now batting right fielder number 13, Lexi Chevalier.
So now it's Chevalier's turn. She was kind of that thorn in Lynn's side in game 1. Chevalier reached base, I believe, 3 times. Reaching on 2 errors. That one is hit down the left field line. And an easy play over there for Johnson. As she ranges to the line and will squeeze it to retire Chevalier. So quick working here is Saviskis. Seems to start to find her command here in the third inning. Certainly Saviskis has looked settled down. Here now as She's 2 2/3 innings into this one. And throws a strike to Clawberg. Clawberg, senior from Tampa. A lot of players from the area, I'm sure. Softball, being an outdoor sport down here in Florida. Pretty solid group of recruits to choose from, but Tampa able to get a lot of their players to stay close to home. Balmer, Clawberg, Dooley, Allen, Matic, Reyes, and Icavino, 2 players we haven't seen as much today, all from Tampa. Pitch swung on and hit well, and that's going to get off the wall over the head of Johnson and left, and could be a double. It's a tough bang-bang play, but it gets over the glove of Aronson, who is covering second. Don't think they would have had the batter Clawberg, and she is now on second with a 2-out double.
Now batting for the Spartans, center fielder number 22, Corinne Miner.
So now Corinne Miner grounded into a fielder's choice her first time up, swings on the first pitch, and comes up empty as Saviskis gets this one by her for strike 1. Clawberg now out there on second base. An opportunity for Tampa with a runner in scoring position as they had in the first inning. That one's high from Saviskis. 2-0 the count. Saviskis comes home, and that one fouled off there by Miner. She's able to get ahead now, 1-2. Try to get you some updates, not only on the baseball game, but on the Florida Southern and Delta State game, as that the winner of that, the Fighting Knights are waiting for tomorrow's second round game in Fort Lauderdale, as Lynn will look to advance to the Sweet 16 with a win in the game tomorrow against the opponent to be determined, either Delta State or Florida Southern. And like I said, Czar, be the 4th time going against Florida Southern this year. 2 times during the regular season, once in the tournament. And, you know, we thought maybe we'd be facing Nova 4 times. I guess we're probably thankful for that. That one's on the ground. Castero makes easy work of it, gobbles it up, throws over to first. And that will do it for Tampa in the top of the 3rd as we head to the bottom half with no score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Nights Up on LSN. So Michaela Caballero, otherwise known as KK, doing the catching today and now batting in the 9 spot as Lynn. It's kind of one of those innings that, you know, being a baseball, softball fan, always kind of look forward to seeing the bottom of the lineup, that 9-hitter leading off the inning, because you know if they can get on, which Caballero nearly did, that one is lifted up and caught there by the second baseman, Clawberg. But, yeah, that's what I was kind of saying is if Caballero could have gotten on there, then you get a base runner on with the top of the order up, and it doesn't get much better than that.
Back to the top line
as now
blue
Mackenzie
line,
Wyatt
center fielder number 1, Mackenzie Wyatt.
will bat. That one swung on by Wyatt and fouled down the right field line. Caballero with that sort of blooper to the second baseman Klauberg for the first out of the inning. And now Wyatt with the foul ball down the left side. Wyatt has Lynn's lone hit, singled to lead off the game to left center. And Lynn was able to get something going, but again, Dooley proving up to the task. Pitch by Dooley, swung on and missed by Wyatt. And she is retired on the strikeout, so 3 quick strikes from Dooley, making it look easy.
Shale Aronson.
So now Shale Aronson will bat with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Aronson swings and fouls this one down the left field line and out of play. That'll go for a quick strike 2 to Aronson. So, again, Dooley, we saw it even in game 1. You can't really say she struggled. She didn't give up any hits. But it wasn't as easy for her in the first couple innings. But as the game progressed, she got stronger and stronger, which is just a testament to her, maybe changing a little bit of her delivery, her approach, but also just being able to perform at the peak time when you need it. And now it's her third game doing that and looking stronger and stronger as she gets into the third inning here. This one on the ground. Ballmer's got to make a long throw. Aronson with some good speed, but she is out at first base. Quick inning as we head to the fourth. 0-0 here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
Hey Trey, nice of you to show up in the right gear, bro.
Trayvion's been a great addition to our program. He brings a lot of experience and leadership for us. Unfortunately, he's gotten a little rusty playing football at Northwestern for 4 years, and he has certainly picked up some bad habits.
Oh! Touchdown!
Hey, Coach, pretty sure that was a travel.
Damn, sucker, we know that! Do it again!
All right, so we're back here in the top of the fourth. Sam Worrell leading off as set to dig in here. Worrell. With Saviskis out in the circle for fourth inning of work. Both teams with just 1 hit so far. Pitch is swung on, hit well by Worrell, but it's out into center. Should be an easy play, and yes, it will be for Wyatt. She squeezes it, and that will be 1 pitch, 1 out for Zaviskis here in the top of the fourth, bringing up Farrell.
Number 54, Maddie Farrell.
So Maddie Farrell. Farrell walked in the second and was stranded, not able to move her over on a sacrifice attempt. Farrell hits one over to the right side. Nice play made by Aronson and a good throw as she is able to throw to first for the second out of the inning. Game moving along quickly here. Bailey Phillips coming to the plate now.
Emily Jansen now due up for the Spartans. That was awkward. Emily Jansen, not Bailey Phillips.
Oh, so it is Jansen, 19, not 15. As that one is outside to Jansen for ball 1. My mistake on that one. As Jansen, again, not really a whole lot going on at the dish for either team. Jansen grounded out into a fielder's choice back into second. Takes this pitch low from Saviskis. So the count now 2-0. Swung on by Jansen, lifted out into left, and it's going to get out of play down the left field line. So that'll move the count to 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch from Saviskis is outside. So now 3-1. That's a strike there, so now the count full to Jansen. And, ooh, just misses. That's that pitch from Saviskis. So Jansen works a 2-out walk.
Designated player number 15, Bailey Phillips. Now Phillips is up.
Now it's Bailey Phillips' turn. I got a little bit of ahead of myself there. So that's what you're here for. Keep me in check. And looks like that pitch to Phillips is ball one. So not exactly best control shown here by Saviskis again in this inning. A couple walks, and that could be the undoing. Again, it may just take one run in this game for whoever's going to come out with the victory. Count now 1-1 to batter Phillips. That one swung on and lifted out into right. Long play out there, and Diaz makes it out by the wall. So Lynn is able to get out of the inning after giving up the base runner, and we head to the bottom of the fourth. No score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
The blue and white, the right field.
So now Diaz has made a couple nice plays out in right field. Now comes to the plate, trying to get it going with the bat. Florida Southern leading 19-13 over there.
And that one hit Liz.
Going, but Liz with another hit by pitch, so don't have to do much if you're just going to stand there and let it hit you. And that'll certainly work as Diaz gets aboard as a leadoff base runner.
Now batting designated player for the blue and white, number 17.
And that's going to bring Kayla Sheffield to the plate. Sheffield 0 for 1 on the day. Said just one hit for each team. Wyatt had the hit for Lynn in the first. And now Sheffield Struck out looking in the first, tries to lay a bunt down, and I think they're going to say that Sheffield offered at the pitch. I'm really not sure what happened there. I don't think she got the bunt back. Is it a strike? Sheffield looked like she tried to bunt the pitch. It got past her, so she swung at it, but it never hit the bat and allowed Diaz to advance to second base. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but see if we can get a replay of that to a little better explanation. But pitch comes in. So the pitch comes in here, and yeah, Sheffield squared around. It should be a strike. She was squared around, but it actually went behind her. Pitch was so off that it got past Sheffield and past the catcher, Farrell, behind the plate, all the way to the backstop. So Diaz advances to second, and now if you're Coach Joe Moore, just have Sheffield lay a bunt down here and try to move Diaz over to third. Might think about a pinch runner, to be honest. Just someone with some better wheels out there. You have Valise on the bench.
Valise on the bench, yeah, I was going to say that too.
I know it's a little early, but especially with the re-entry, might as well put me out there. All right, so Corinne Miner, that's it for Dooley, I guess. I don't know exactly about that move, but Dooley is done, and she did well in 3 innings of work, but is responsible for the runner Diaz on second base. It's interesting. Dooley's been dealing all day, and then you put a different pitcher in there, but must have some confidence in Miner as well, who will come in from her field position. Miner was out there in center field, so the center fielder comes in to pitch, and I'm not sure if looks like Chevalier went to center and Dooley went to right. So those are the changes. Chevalier shifts over to center. Dooley comes out to right, and the center fielder, Miner, comes into the circle.
Into the circle for the Spartans, number 8, Carolyn Miner. Number 22.
So it's Corinne Miner, and that pitch is by the catcher again. So you bring Miner in, and that's the second wild pitch in a row.
Be a pass ball that
as looked like it went off the catcher's glove. Not sure if they were crossed up or what, but the count is 2-0. So the pitch to Sheffield was called a ball. Respectfully disagreed with. Looked like she squared around a bunt, but 2-0 the count, and now Sheffield with a golden opportunity here with a runner on third base and nobody out. 2-1 now, as that one's in there to Sheffield from Miner. 2-1 pitch to Sheffield is in there. That's a strike, so 2-2 quickly. Swung on by Sheffield. Oh, and the play is going to be made over there by Jansen. That's a big first out in the inning for Miner.
Now batting the third baseman,
as she is able to get the out without allowing the run to score. And now Purser is going to try to have to lift the ball to the outfield. Diaz trying to tag. Florida Southern clinging to a 1-point lead over there against Delta State. That pitch swung on by Purser. Runner looked back to first. So Purser's going to reach on what is an infield single. As
now batting first baseman, number 22, Sophia Mesa.
The first baseman didn't have much of an option there. Jansen charging the ball. Wasn't going to have a play on Purser at first. So decides to look back Diaz at third. Not a whole lot hurt if you're Tampa. But now they will pull the infield in. The corner way in. This is Worrell, who's in a scary spot over there at third base with DeVesa up. It doesn't get much more hot than where she's standing at right now.
We'll see if Purser maybe takes off for a second.
Yeah, Purser might try to take off for second to break up the double play. But Diaz, not really the most swift runner on third to try to attempt that. Normally you try to take second, maybe see if you can bait the throw down and then come home and score that little first and third play. But it looks like Lynn is going to elect to keep Purser put. That pitch is outside. And 2-1 the count. Now Minor pitching to DeVeza. Again, the job here for Lynn is simple. You'd love to make it into a big inning, but first things first is score your first run of the day. DeVeza just needs to hit one into the outfield, but she cannot. And a nice play made by the fielder at third, Worrell, who was right where she needed to be. And that's 2 outs now, still runners on first and third. And now Shannon Johnson will have to try to drive in Diaz. So maybe now with 2 outs, we'll see Purser on the move. We did not see it there in that at bat.
She's on second. I don't know where she'd go.
Oh, I didn't even see her. I didn't even see her go. So she must have advanced there on the.
She had to go because it was a ground ball.
Strikeout. Oh, so she went on the ground ball. So it was the fielder's choice. That's what I was confused by there. Vantage point somewhat blocked of first base. But so Purser now on second. So maybe a hit for Johnson will score both. As Johnson fouls this one back. So 1-1 the count. So Purser able to get on second on that ground out by DeVeza. So the inning started with a hit by pitch. Diaz was able to work aboard getting hit by the pitch, then moved to second on a wild pitch, and advanced to third on a pass ball after Dooley was pulled, and the new pitcher Minor came in. But then Lynn, 2 straight outs, Sheffield with a foul out, Purser with the infield single, putting runners on first and third, and DeVeza with the ground out, moving Purser to second. So second and third with Purser and Diaz, and it's 2-2 count here to Shannon Johnson in the bottom of the fourth. Johnson fouls this one off at the dish again, so not going down easily. Just going to have to try to find a straight one out. Hit it hard somewhere. The 2-2 pitch to Johnson. Swung on and missed as she chases the high fastball. And that'll do it for Lynn. Again, another opportunity for the Fighting Knights. They come up empty, so no score here after 4 as we head to the 5th with the score 0-0 from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
Pinch hitting for the Spartans.
All right, so we are in the top of the 5th. Not sure why it's indicating the bottom of the 5th, but it should be the top of the 5th. Top 5 here. Now we got it going. Looks like it's going to be a pinch hitter, so it's Lauren Pasco, senior from Old Saybrook, Connecticut, that will lead off for Tampa as they look to push a run across. Again, it's one that, again, has the makings of a 1-0 game. Lynn with just 2 hits and Tampa with just 1. So the pitching has been outstanding this entire weekend. and continues here in the third game of the series, the third and final game, and the second game of the day. This one hit towards the right side. Going to be a tough play for Aronson. She's able to flip over to first. Nice range shown there by Shale, who stays with it and makes the flip to DeVesa for the first out of the inning.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Stephanie Ballmer.
So Stephanie Ballmer will bat now with one out in the top of the fifth after Pasco pinch hit for Dooley. So that might be the end of the day for Dooley, of which it's been a pretty good one.
It's been a great series for Dooley.
It's been a pretty good day for Dooley, and like you said, a good series, and really it's been a good year for Dooley. It probably
been a good career for Dooley.
It will continue to be that way. But her day looks to be done, as it looks like Pasco will not only hit there, but will replace her in right field in the bottom half of the fifth. 0-1 pitch here. This one skied on the infield. Looks like it's going to stay in play. Caballero squeezes it, and 2 outs. Good footwork shown there by Michaela to stay with it and make the play. So 2 outs here in the top of the fifth.
Spartans. Now batting center fielder, number 13, Lexi Chevalier.
So now Chevalier bats. First pitch to Chevalier, misses for a ball. Chevalier with a walk in the first and a fly out to left in the third. Saviskis, this pitch misses outside, 2-0. There hasn't really been a lack of pitching today. Just Lynn has not been able to get it done at the plate. There's 2 hits in this game, hitless in the first one. It's hard to win with such a low amount of hits. That one swung on and fouled straight back. Chevalier, first strike to her, 2-1.
In games that softball's been out hit, I believe they're now 1 in 13. So definitely the hit column plays an important factor, as always in this sport.
Very telling stat there. Can rely on you for those most of the time. This one's hit out to right, and Diaz camps underneath and makes the play. So we head to the bottom of the fifth. No score here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. Castero leads off the bottom of the fifth. And so Pasco did come in, and Dooley is out, but she went to center. So I'm assuming Chevalier moved over to right. And it looks like that is accurate. So Chevalier is now in right. In center is Pasco, and Reyes still in left. 1-0 the count here to Castero. And trying to get something going. And facing this new pitcher, Corinne Miner, who was able to get through her first inning of work unscathed, and now comes back out for her second inning here in the bottom of the fifth. Castero fouled that last one off, so it was 1-1. Looks like now 2-1 the count. The pitch to Castero, skied out into center. Pasco just got in the game. You can kind of tell that, as her and Reyes didn't have very much communication going on out there. Nearly ran into each other, but as would have it,
Now batting
the
catcher,
out
number
is made in left field,
KK Caballero.
and that'll bring Michaela KK Caballero to the plate. 9-hitter. She'll try to get something going. She popped up to second base in the third inning. Caballero, the righty, takes the first pitch from Minor for a strike. Looked good so far. That was Reyes out there in left field making the play on Castero's flyout for the first out of the inning in the bottom of the fifth. That pitch swung on by Caballero at the plate and fouled down to the dirt. So the count 1-1. One swung on by Caballero, but hit right back to the pitcher there, Minor. So quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. And the top of the lineup, Mackenzie Wyatt. Singled to left center in the first and struck out in the third. That one's in there.
We'll see if Mackenzie is going to just chase this next pitch. She's gotten the bat on the ball. Ooh, that was a close pitch there.
Yep, 1-1, I guess, called outside. One swung on by Wyatt. Play made on, or in the circle there by Minor, and that will end the fifth inning. So we head to the sixth, 0-0 between Tampa and Lynn. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
Off the sixth for the Spartans.
Top six, and we are humming here, and that is how it'll be as far as the speed of the game when there's just 3 combined hits. 2 for Lynn, 1 for Tampa. And no run, 0-0 here through 5, and that's exactly how the first game of the day went, and Tampa was able to get the lone run of Game 1 in the top of the 6th, which they were able to ride to victory behind Dooley, who pitched the complete game and in style, a no-hitter. So Clawberg at the dish, and it's a 1-1 count right now to her. Spartans looking to complete the sweep of the series, while Lynn looks to salvage at least one game. This one popped up behind home plate and just a bit off the first base line, as Caballero will squeeze it easily for out number 1. And Clawberg is retired after doubling to left in her last at bat. And that's going to bring Minor out.
22, Corinne Minor.
So Minor, the pitcher now, but was in center field before, 0 for 2 on the day. Ground into a fielder's choice in the first and grounded out to short in the third. That one is high and out from Saviskis. 0-1, the count. Updates on the baseball game. It is now 6-5. Lynn leads, but is clinging to it as Barry has runners on first and second with nobody out. That one is in there, 4 strikes, so 1-1 the count. Game between Delta State and Florida Southern. 32-28, the score of that one now. Pretty close to the half. As number 7, Delta State, with a lead. It's about 2 minutes to go in the first half. Two and one the count here. And the pitch to Minor is fouled off at the dish, so should be now 2-2. Swung on and missed there by Minor. Fouled off. Should be a 2-2 count. Pitch from Saviskis. Swung on and missed by Minor. And that's a strikeout for Olivia. Her second of the day. And that's now 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting the third baseman, number 44, Sam Worrell.
Sam Worrell swings on this one and
Hot
fouls
shot.
one down the third base line. Worrell has really had a lot of foul balls that have gone like that. I can remember several of her at-bats today in which that's happened. So she's on it. She just has been a little bit in front of it. Going to have to find a way to wait that extra split second, and it'll go a long way and be a good result for the Spartans if so. Pitch, Saviskis, and it's low, so 1-1. Now to Worrell. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. 2, 3, 4 due up for Lynn in the bottom half. Aronson, Diaz, and Sheffield. And Saviskis tries to retire the Spartans in order here in the top half. That one's inside. 2-1 now the count. Pitch is out. Oh, is a late strike call. 2-2 now the count.
Be huge if Saviskis can keep the momentum going for the blue and white and maybe get back-to-back Ks to end the 6th.
Yeah, she just needs something to get going on the offensive end, but obviously got to continue to fool the Tampa hitters. That one bounces in, so now full count. Here to Worrell.
It'll be Aronson, Diaz, and Sheffield. If any of them can get on for the blue and white, it'll be Perzer, DeVase, and Johnson.
And we talked about today, runs were going to be at a premium. Well, we were right about that. They've been
Go to the lottery now.
very hard to come by.
And that one is 1 run for Tampa.
And that one's over the fence. So that ball, 3-2 pitch, and Minor deposits it over the wall. And that is a huge home run for the Spartans as they take a 1-0 lead. And we know 1-0 might be enough. And it happens almost in the exact same way. This time in the 6th. Last time also actually. So both times in the 6th inning. And really just good at bat there by Minor. And she ran into one and hit a long way. And that just really hurts for the Fighting Knights, as they're now going to have to get at least 1 run to extend the game. Sorry, that was Worrell that homered there.
Now batting the catcher, number 54, Maddie Farrell.
So Worrell, what do we say? She's hit a lot of balls hard, and they've all gone foul. So sorry to pump her up before she hits the home run. But we said if she was able to straighten one out, it was going to go a long way.
She was listening.
And that one did. That one was straight, and it went a long way. So out to left as Worrell picks up the big homer. And that might be all that Tampa needs. Farrell up now, 1-0 pitch. Farrell trying to go back-to-back. as she hits one hard down the third base line off Saviskis. So Saviskis had really been cruising. It's a strange game, is it not? You've given up one hit and feel like you're throwing maybe one of your best outings of the season, and you give up a solo home run, and all of a sudden you're staring down a loss.
Yeah, that's tough.
And, you're down 1-0, but you just haven't been able to solve this Tampa pitching staff. Your offense hasn't given you any help. So you've got to be perfect at that point, and one mistake is all it takes.
It was one pitch, too. It wasn't even a few hits for the Spartans. One pitch got away from Saviskis and went over the wall.
And that's what can happen. So Lynn's got to kind of take a page out of that book and maybe try to find that one pitch that they can even the score with. But now 3-1 the count here to Farrell. So all of a sudden Saviskis now going to have to come in with a pitch here to Farrell, who sure can run into one. Batting in the fifth spot as Farrell tried to check her swing, but it was a strike nonetheless.
3 out of the 6 batters for the Fighting Knights coming up in the next 2 innings, maybe inning, depending on how the bottom of the 6 goes. 3 of them have home runs this season. And if you go to the 7th batter, 4 out of the 7. So, potential.
The potential's there. As this one's on the ground, Farrell scooped up by Castero. Snap throw over to first. And that'll do it for the Tampa half of the 6th inning. But not before they pick up a big go-ahead run on a solo homer by Worrell. So we head to the bottom half with the score Tampa 1 and Lynn 0. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN.
The second baseman, number 10, Shale Aronson.
So now Shale Aronson trying to get that run back that Saviskis gave up on the home run in the last inning. 6-6 now the score in the baseball game. Bottom 5, 2 outs in Miami Shores. So a very, very good game between Lynn and Barry. And what Lynn needs to try to even up the series. And then with game 3 still to come today, Aronson fouls this one off. So 1-1 now the count to Shale. Shale grounded into a fielder's choice in the first and grounded out to short in third. It's their third AB of the day. The lefty Aronson, and the pitch is in there on the outside corner. So 1-2 count to Aronson as she leaves that one right there.
And Aronson, Diaz, or Sheffield just need to get on. Allow the next person to do the next job. Don't try to do everything yourself.
Yeah, that one misses, so 2-2. Exactly. You got to take the small ball approach. Sure, it might be tempting to try to swing for the fences, tie the game with one swing, but it's not really what you need. You need a couple hits, get something going. Aronson fouls this one off behind the plate. Still 2-2. So an update. As we said, Lynn will await the winner of Delta State and Florida Southern, the 2-7 game over in the men's basketball South region. Delta State with a 7-point halftime lead, up 35-28. Nice play made by Balmer over there, as that was tagged by Aronson, but right at her, and she'll throw across for the first out of the inning.
Liz Diaz.
So now Diaz with a chance here. Looking to make it 2 days in a row with a home run is Diaz. First pitch to Diaz is a ball. Liz is officially 0 for 0 in this game. He's been hit by a pitch in the first and the fourth innings. But this time it looks like going to have to actually hit at the dish as she fouls this one off. And it's 1-1 to Diaz. Diaz fouls this one off. So now it's 1-2. The 1-2 hit hard by Diaz on the ground, but Worrell scoops it up, and a nice play by the first baseman Jansen to go low and dig it out. Now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
The designated player, number 17, Kayla Sheffield.
Kayla Sheffield struck out looking in the first, flied out to first base, or fouled out to first base in the fourth. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch to Sheffield, fouled straight back. 4 strike 1. That pitch missed. A little outside, so 1-1 now the count to Kayla. Gonna get that 2-out rally going. Lynn running out of time to get rolling. 2-1 the count. Pitch inside to Sheffield, showing some good patience here at the plate. Trying to find that pitch to hit. 2-1. This one swung on, hit well by Sheffield. That's out into the gap for a single. Looks like she's going to try to stretch it to 2 and will be in there on second base with a double to right center. And boy, that did not look like it felt good. It hit the shortstop Balmer right in the leg. So that short hopped her, and she's walking a little gingerly, but Sheffield able to get in scoring position with 2 outs, and not sure if Balmer's going to come out of the game. They are checking on her at short, but now Purser comes up in a big spot as Lynn can even the game with a hit.
Now batting for the Fighting
Sheffield,
Knights, third baseman number 15, Brittany Purser.
And you think Sheffield was happy to not be hitting against Dooley? I think so.
Just a little bit.
As she makes quick work of that at bat there with the new pitcher Minor and is able to double to right center. That's what you need if you're Lynn. You got 2 outs now and you got the runner in scoring position, so you have a chance. Purser needs to come through with a big hit here. She fouls this one off at the plate, and just like that, it's 0-2.
Base hit to the outfield. Sheffield will definitely be rounding third.
Purser, and the 0-2 is fouled off once again. Might hit off the roof here. Nope, it's going to get out of play. Maybe out of off campus. Not really sure where that one ended up.
FAU.
But I guess we can go take a look for it after the game. So choose. The 0-2 again. Purser swings on this one. This one might get down, and it doesn't. As Reyes makes the play, a diving play out in left field to keep Lynn off the board.
Nothing you can do about that one.
So we will head to the 7th with Tampa still ahead 1-0. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. Emily Jansen to bat against Saviskis here in the top of the 7th, similar to what Jamestown had to do in Game 1. Saviskis has got to put another 0 on the board and hope that the offense can get one run across in the bottom half. This one fouled off by Jansen for strike 1. Jansen has grounded into a fielder's choice in the 2nd and walked in the 4th. That one's in there for strike 2, so Saviska's doing her job so far, working quickly and getting ahead. The offense just has not been able to muster much against Dooley, and now against Minor, who's done a nice job in relief of Dooley. He was kind of able to escape that jam for Tampa, and then was in another one there in the last inning, but a nice play made and left by Reyes.
Game-saving play right there so far for Tampa.
Maintain the score. Seen some good defense from both teams today. The pitch is, looked like it was on the corner, but
someone screamed.
Lynn dugout thought it was, but it's outside, so 2-2. The count here to Jansen. Jansen, Phillips, and Pasco due up in the inning. The 2-2 to Jansen, fouled over towards third. Purser will have to track it down. And shallow left. And throw it back in to Saviskis. So still 2-2 as the sun seems to be peeking out here now. After the clouds were looming. I know rain due in the area later on. But looks like some decent weather so far. That one hit right back at the pitcher, Saviskis. Nice play made there by her in the circle. She'll make the throw over to DeVesa, so one out here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting the designated player number 15, Bailey Phillips.
So Bailey Phillips with one out. Phillips has struck out in the 2nd and flew out to right in the 4th. So far, 1 run on 2 hits for Tampa. No runs on 3 hits for Lynn. No errors for either team. About the cleanest game you can play. Swung on, smashed, but foul. Way out in front of it was Phillips. And so quickly it's 0-2. Pitch. Looked like she went. And going to say she held up. So 1-2 now the count, as that one was on the outside corner. She thought about chasing, but decides she's able to hold up her swing there. That one. Interesting noise outside there. 2-2 is the count here. The 2-2, low, so 3-2. Now the count is full. Here to Phillips. Saviskis with 88 pitches. She's now up to 93 through this at bat with Phillips. Just the 1 earned run, the solo homer in the last inning. Swung on, hit well, but looks like it's going to hang up there. Yes, it will. So Shannon Johnson camps under and left, and now there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And Pasco will step in.
Now batting the center fielder,
for
number
Lynn.
5, Lauren Pasco.
For Tampa. That is a strike there. So starting out, Pasco. Pasco grounded out in the fifth, her lone at bat, as she came in a variety of defensive changes after the starting pitcher Dooley exited the game. Was moved out into right, but then was taken out. Chevalier moved over to center, and Pasco found a home in right field. 1-1 the count to her. The 1-1 from Saviskis. Good one. Clips the inside corner. Now 1-2. That one popped up behind the plate. Caballero gives chase, but it's way out. Good hustle shown by KK. But we will do the 1-2 pitch again. So good at bat here by Pasco. 2-2 the count.
Like, it says Jansen's up. Jansen, she lead off this inning. Okay, what happened? Like, pitch by pitch. It says it down there. It says it down there. Zoom in.
Pitch to Pasco is high, so 3-2. The 3-2 pitch swung on, and looks like Saviskis may have finally won the at-bat, as she does, and the foul out to DeVesa will end Tampa's half of the seventh. So we go to the bottom half with Lynn needing 1 run to extend the game and 2 to win it. Tampa leading 1-0 here from Boca Raton. You're watching Fighting Night Softball on LSN. Alrighty, so DeVesa, Shannon Johnson, and Castero, 3 Lynn hitters.
Leading off the seventh
will bat
for the
in this
Fighting
inning
Knights, the
for
first
sure
baseman, number 22,
against
Sophia
Minor,
DeVesa.
with Lynn needing to push one across.
I'm interested to see if Coach Moore gives Mia Valiz an opportunity to hit in this inning. Johnson is on deck, but maybe for Castero or even Caballero, if she gets up.
A chance to see Valiz. I agree. I mean, if you're Coach Moore, you got to try anything. As that game is now all even between Delta State and Florida Southern, 40-40. So a good run made by Southern to begin the second half. All tied up at 40 in Fort Lauderdale with 15:34 left in that second half. That one swung on and missed by DeVesa. 1-2 the count. Minor has shown that sure Dooley is the pitcher of name, but Minor pretty solid as well. And she has come in over the last 3 innings and done very well. This one lifted out onto the shallow right center field grass, and that's Klauberg going back to make the play. So that's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, and Shannon Johnson
The left fielder,
comes to the plate.
5, Shannon Johnson. I rarely try to say that I was right, but look who's in the on-deck circle.
Johnson flew out to left in the 2nd and struck out in the 4th. Understand Valise hitting, especially with somebody on base. But it looks like she's going to get an opportunity to bat, like you said. Maybe be Lynn's last hope. That not happened in the first game today, I think.
I've never felt so smart.
I believe Valise batted in game 1 to end the game as well. So
Did she?
may have been Sheffield, but can look into that. But right now, it needs to get something going. Valise isn't going to be the type of player to tie it with one swing of the bat. So it's 1-2 to Johnson. Looking to hit here, chases the high pitch and strikes out. So now Valise, last hope for the Fighting Knights.
Pinch hitting for
As
the
Minor
Fighting Knights.
will
Number
look
9,
to finish it off and earn the
Mia
win.
Valise.
Minor will look to earn the win and relief if she's able, and move to 4-2 if she's able to retire Valise. Was the last hope for Lynn. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. And Tampa, no, it's not deja vu, but it's a 1-0 game. Spartans getting just that 1 run. That's all they've needed today in game 1, winning 1-0 behind the no-hitter from Dooley. Now here in game 2, not quite as good. Have given up 3 hits, but still pretty good. No runs on the board for Lynn. And you have that 1-0 lead, courtesy of the solo homer by Worrell in the top of the 6th. Valise, it's a 1-1 count. That one on the corner. So 1-2. We've seen that outside strike all day. Now Valise got to find a way to put that bat on the ball. The 1-2 for Minor. Swung on and missed by Valise. And that'll do it for today's doubleheader between Tampa and Lynn, with the Spartans winning 2 close ones by a 1-0 score for both of them. And Tampa sweeps the series here in Boca Raton, winning all 3 games over the Fighting Knights. So for Darren Irrigan and David Zarlinski on the call, that'll do it for today's doubleheader. Final scores of both games, 1-0 in favor of Tampa. Thank you for listening in, and join us next time as we are signing off.